Okay. So I said I'd be back, and I am. So I did my intentions, and I'm excited, grateful, beyond. I mean, the words great gratitude doesn't even. There's so much that is out there. There's so much within you. There's so much within all of us, and we have so much to give to ourselves, to those we love, to those who love us, and to the planet. 2025 is really in your hands. It's in my hands. It's in your hands. And so for you to be successful in this venture of co-creating with the universe, you have to actually believe that you matter. That's the trick. If you don't believe you matter, then it doesn't matter how much you want if you actually don't believe in your thumbprint in the architecture of the new earth. It's really that simple. There's no egoic aspect to it. It's just facts. So if you can support the channel by sharing the live, I'm going to do a collective reading on 2025. No gender specific. We're not talking about the divine masculine. We're not talking about the divine feminine. We're going to be talking about the divinity of our souls and how we can actually embody best, our very best, in co-creating the new earth. I've talked about it before. Many people have talked about 2032 being the final push. I did a whole live on the magic numbers from 2024 to 2036 and gave a breakdown of all the numbers and what they mean so that you can kind of get a blueprint of what to expect moving forward. But next year, 2025, is the number 9. It's a powerful master number. It's God's perfect master number. I did a whole video. You can look up under my playlist under numerology. I will be doing one. I keep promising, but I will. I've been busy. I'm preparing for classes. We're doing an altar class. We're going to be offering tarot readings. We're going to start with Major Arcana. We're going to be doing classes on Tantra and the importance of sex magic and Tantra. There'll be a lot of classes coming up in 2025. You may want to, follow me and follow Andromeda Flame, and follow what we're about to roll out. In terms of keeping in contact with us, with TikTok doing, with the government doing what it's doing with TikTok and treating us like we're 12-year-olds, you do what you want. And if you want to follow us on YouTube, fantastic. I'm not a fan of Meta for the obvious reasons, so please don't follow me on Meta. I mean, if you have to, there you go. But I am on YouTube. Not that I'm a fan of them either, but at least it's the lesser of two evils in my book. There is an app that is going to roll out called Neptune, and I am actually hoping to be a beta tester on Neptune. And it looks like they're going to actually be seriously giving people the right to have a free voice. And we'll see how that works. It looks like they're coming from the right place. Lemonade, I can't comment really. But anyway, let's get into your reading. Please share the live. Let me know if you have any questions. But the live is here for the collective, okay? Please don't ask me those questions, okay? Will I date in 2025? You need to learn about manifesting. The answer's in you. You have the answer. This is where I'm a tarot reader that tells you if you're going in the right direction. Okay, let me explain something to you about tarot, because I think a lot of you guys actually think it's cemented. Are there things cemented in a tarot reading? Yes, there's some things that you, like for example, I'll give you a perfect example. If you're supposed to be with the person that you're supposed to be with and they are supposed to be with you, it doesn't matter how many times I'll throw the cards when you ask, is there someone else? Do I have another lover coming in? If it's a no, doesn't matter how many times I throw it, you'll go to other readers and it doesn't matter. It will say no, unless they're lying to you, unless they want to just make you happy. But typically a no in tarot is a no. However, It is very much like a GPS. There's certain things that it's not a full no. It's a no if you continue in this direction, yes if you continue in that direction. And at that point, a psychic, tarot reader, clairaudient, clairvoyant, clairsentient is going to actually be able to give you counsel to tell you how to stay on track or how to avoid the accident ahead. It's like a GPS. And so that is what tarot is. But when it's a no, it doesn't matter how many times you ask, it's a fucking no. And that's it. It's a no. So I'll give you an example that I've actually had a few times in the past few years of doing a lot of twin flame readings. When somebody says to me, I really know it's a twin, I really know, and I say, no, it's not, you don't have, you don't, it's not. But I'll tell you what, why don't we ask? Because I call out the cards, just so you know. And the reason I do that is because human beings understand patterns. So if I keep seeing the same patterns and I keep calling it out to you, eventually you're going to realize there's a pattern going on here. So in multiple instances where I've had to tell the client, no, that's actually not your twin. It's a high-level soulmate, or it's whatever the hell it is in that case. But let's ask if a twin is coming in. And damn, if it doesn't, 80% of the time, boom, yes, a twin's coming in. And then they see the difference in what's being shown. So do you get what I'm saying? So tarot is when the downloads are coming in, it's like reading the newspaper. Really, there's no weird pauses. There's no like, I don't know, what does that mean? Let's look again. The clarification quite often is to see what is underpinning the shadows. It's also, the clarification is to go deeper into it, to confirm what we're seeing or to deny what we're seeing. Five of Pentacles to the Five of Pentacles means, am I stuttering? It means you're homeless. You're not feeling good. This is not happening for you. For whatever reason, you feel bereft, lost. You don't belong. So that's an example, to give you some ideas. So when you ask me, will I date in 2025? To be clear, the question isn't will you date? The question is, do you want to date or do you want a relationship? Because frankly, I've never dated in my entire life. I'm not joking. I don't like dating. So the question is that your thing? Do you like to date? And that's not to put anyone down, because there's some people, like I have a very question is that your thing? Do you like to date? And that's not to put anyone down, because there's some people, like I have a very dear friend of mine who that's her thing. She doesn't want to get married. She doesn't want to live with any particular person. That's not her thing. But dating, dinners, weekends, loves that. That's her life. And there are people wired that way. They just cannot commit fully to any one relationship. That's just not how they're wired. Nothing wrong with it. Just be honest about it. So I'm going to do a quick reading on the collective and where you guys are going. Those who are staying fabulous, welcome. Those who are not, yeah, have a wonderful year. But let's continue. Let's see what's going on. And then I'll call the cards. And if you want to follow the live and like it, if you like it so that it gets the I mean, you guys know what to do. You guys, I mean, you know how this works. So I hate asking, but if you want the channel to survive, I want it to survive beyond whatever the powers that be are going to say about us in January 2025. I've never been one to follow rules. Let's just put it that way. But anyway, with that said, Nine of Swords fell out, and I have to pay attention to it. Nine of Swords into the Ten of Cups sideways. I got to go with that. Nine of Swords is anxiety. It's nightmares. And Ten of Cups crossing the reading is kind of unfortunate because it's about what you really want, which is an emotional connection. Like whether it's emotional connection with one person or tribe or starseed or family, marriage, it can mean a lot of that. And because I'm not being specific about divine masculine, divine feminine, I'm going broader in what this means. Let's keep going. Into the King of Wands. King of Wands is a swaggering energy of confidence. It's like Alexander the Great. It's a conqueror. It's a doer. It's very similar in some power to the Emperor, but it's a little more subtle. It represents Sagittarius, Leo, and Aries energy. Crowning the reading is the Queen of Pentacles. Recent past, the Ace of Pentacles to the Strength card. The way I do, just so you know, The way I do these readings are my way, not the way, just my way. So recent past, Ace of Pentacles is a new beginning to the strength, the fight between the ego and the soul. Now, some people say that it's about exhaustion, strength card, exhaustion, trying to gathering all your power to keep going. I don't believe that. When I look at that in intuitive level, on a download level, I feel and I see the fight between the maiden and the lion. And the lion represents the 3D brain, the primal, and the maiden represents the soul. So it's the fight between the maiden, the soul, and the ego, the constant fighting. And to be honest, it is exhausting. Crowning the reading, the Queen of Pentacles, it's a grounded energy. It's a really good energy, but her feet are on top of the Nine of Swords. That's a problem. Queen of Pentacles represents Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus energy. Into Nine of Swords, it's all about the mind. It's about nightmares, not being able to control one's thoughts, not sleeping, and so forth. Ten of Cups, what you really want, which is love, fulfillment, commitment, is been stagnated. King of Wands, staggering energy, not staggering, swaggering power, excuse me. Into Judgment, something dead coming back to life. Into the Sun, again, Leo energy. So that, and it's funny because the Strength card, which represents Leo, and the Sun, which is also Leonic energy, is sitting right next to each other. The Sun also represents clarity, being able to see, and healing energy. Into the Seven of Pentacles, which is outside your power, which means, what do you want to invest in? Or the influences of what to invest in. Seven of Pentacles, what do I do first? And finally, the last card. I'm not going to really talk about the ninth position right now because it's not important. But the last card is the Fool. And the Fool is saying, brand new beginning. Remember, the question was, what's happening in 2025? So the World represents chapter 1 to chapter 2. The Fool represents a brand new book. Like and it makes absolute sense. You're going from 2024 to 2025. And the book has blank pages. What are you going to write on those pages? What are you going to decide? And if you decide to be in the Nine of Swords consciousness, the Nine of Swords energy, which is stagnation, nightmarish energy, anxiety, then you're going to stagnate an incredible opportunity. Let's clarify. Why is the Nine of Swords here? Page of Cups, messages. Four of Swords, illness into the... And I'm going to say illness. Because the Four of Swords is not about the Hermit. Hermit would be introspective, going within. Let me think about it. Let me meditate on it. But this energy of Nine of Swords to the Four of Swords, book ended by the Page of Cups and the creative energy of the Ace of Wands, shows me that your love and your passion for something is being stifled by your monkey mind. That's what it's showing me. And that's a problem. That means you're not actually leaping into space and going, fuck it, let me just do it. Let me try this. Let me just try something new. Let me try something that scares the shit out of me and gives me anxiety. Maybe this is a good idea to start now. And unfortunately, you're actually diluting your passions. Queen of Pentacles, why is she here? Two of Wands, stagnation, holding the world in your hand and not knowing what directions to go. Tell me more. Two of Pentacles, juggling material concerns. What makes sense? Fear. It's based on holding on to fear and not moving into dropping the pentacles and saying, fuck this, let me stop my what I'm used to doing. Let me forget all these habits and these behaviors. Again, remember, Queen of Pentacles to the Two of Wands, stagnation. You've got the world in your hand. You could pretty much do whatever the hell you want, but you're messing around with the Two of Pentacles, which reflects your mental inability to just leap into the mosh pit of life. Into the King of Wands again. So now we've got the King of Wands twice. It represents fire, creativity. It usually represents confidence, a swaggering, and I keep using that word swaggering because it's a nonchalant energy. It's irreverent. It doesn't give a fuck if it fails. In fact, it wants to fail because the more often it fails, the more refined the focus is. It's like, oh well, that didn't work. Well, I fell on my face on that one. Let me get up and do it again. Apparently that's not the way to do it. So let me refine my process. And that's interesting, isn't it? because it's how toddlers learn how to walk. They keep falling and they keep getting up. They never stop getting up until one day they don't fall anymore unless they want to. There's a stubbornness to that anyway. And there's a willingness to fail, actually. Ten of Cups, why is that sideways? Five of Pentacles, feeling homeless. Queen of Cups is here. Queen of Cups to Justice. Queen of Cups is... Ten of Cups, why is that sideways? Five of Pentacles, feeling homeless. Queen of Cups is here. Queen of Cups to Justice. Queen of Cups is amazing, loving energy, but there is a pain here in this loving energy. She wants what she wants. Into justice, which is righting the wrongs, getting justice. I would say this is from just looking at, hang on, that she wants the Ten of Cups. She feels homeless. She, he, by the way, it's not gender specific, not in this case. She feels homeless. She wants justice. She wants to be seen and heard. And she is almost demanding from the situation justice, or else she will not go forward and do anything else. It's almost like she's saying, if I don't get this done, if you don't give me justice, I will not move forward. If I don't get closure, I will not continue and move forward. Closure is something you give yourself. It's not something you allow other people to hold over your head. In other words, when clients tell me, well, I really want closure, why won't she, he call me back? Well, that's your answer, isn't it? They're not calling you back. That is your answer. However, but I want to understand why. Well, if they had integrity and courage and bravery and honor and a loving heart, they would have told you. But clearly their characters show themselves by how they're ghosting you. So the closure you feel they owe you isn't in their hands unless you allow it. The closure is in your hands. You decide what the closure is. And the closure is by their actions. There you go. There's your closure. There's certain things that have been taught through the bastions of psychology that are kind of damaging and actually create a sense of stagnation in human beings. You give yourself the closure. They don't return the call. They can't face you and tell you why. That's a cowardly person, and that's the truth. Because an honest person with bravery in their hearts will tell you, hey, I can't give you what you want. I think you're an amazing person, but I'm not ready for what you want. I can't, I don't know what it is. I can't give it to you. And you might, I don't know, hopefully not argue. And you'll say, okay, that's too bad because I really loved you and I will always love you. And the person can say, I understand that, but I can't be who you want me to be. And that is actually a good way to reduce your karmic debt on any human being by literally not ghosting them. Ghosting is actually probably the most toxic thing a human being can do. And it's been accepted in the last 20 years as a normal way to say goodbye. That's not okay. But anyway, on your end, if you're actually receiving that as your answer, silence, then do not put yourself on the shelf waiting for closure. You will wait. You'll rot on that shelf, to be honest. King of Wands, why is it here, please? King of Cups to the Queen of Cups, fantastic. To the Seven of Cups, emotional confusion. To the Eight of Cups, learning new things. It's learning new rules of engagement, learning new ways of approaching life and approaching disappointments and not being emotionally, learning new ways of approaching life and approaching disappointments and not being emotionally lobotomized. Be, you know, like get your hands dirty in your emotions, like really realize, well, I feel this and I feel that, and it's okay to feel all those things, but then make a decision. Do I want to continue? The King and Queen of Cups, I will say, is a good sign because there's a lot of love here, but I see a lot of confusion, a lot of mental and emotional confusion, which is really, what's the word? Clashing. Judgment is something dead coming back to life. It means something returning. It always means something's returning. Into the Knight of Cups, an offer and message of love. Into stagnation, the Hangman, into the Tower. That's not a good sign because it means that somebody is reaching out. There is no answer. and it creates a tower moment. Ace of Pentacles to the Hierophant to the Four of Wands, 1111, means that there's a tower that collapses the bullshit of stagnation to create a new beginning. Ace of Pentacles. Hierophant means a lot of things, but in Taurus energy, it's the highest level of and the purest level of Taurus energy coming to a spiritual awakening, but not just for Taurus, but other people. It also means traditional values. It means marriage. And the reason I'm saying that is because Ace of Pentacles, new beginning, to the Hierophant, tradition, marriage, to the Four of Wands, 1111, which is, of course, the number of the twin flames, but it also represents a celebration and marriage. So for some of you, not, to be honest, and believe me, just because it's the age of Aquarius, just please cool your jets. Not everyone's going to come into union all at once. It's not a Reverend Mooney marriage, okay? Not 500 of you or 5,000 of you or 500,000 of you getting married on the same day. Please don't listen to content creators telling you that, all twin flames are getting together and getting married. That's not happening. Some twin flames are dying. Some twin flames are going for their first meeting. Some twin flames are going for their second separation. Some twin flames are coming back in union for their third union. There's all kinds of things happening. What's happening, though, on a spiritual level is the veils are parting and clarity is coming faster and more, and spreading the healing of clarity to more of us. That is what's happening. I'll say that. The sun. Why is the sun here? What's going on with the sun, please? The star, healing energy, death, transformation into Page of Swords. Page of Swords has two meanings. One is spy energy, but one is learning. So you're learning. You're going to be learning new things, which makes sense because to heal, you have to learn. So it's interesting. So the sun clears and gives you an understanding of what's going on. The star is wish upon a star, manifesting. Today, it was the last full moon. It's now past 12 for us on the East Coast. But this is about wishing, bringing forth. Death is when you want something very badly, there might be things you're still holding on tightly that are no longer important. Past resentments, past fears of being betrayed by your twin or other people, or kind of a looping of past hurts in past relationships, like a marriage that didn't work, or someone who cheated on you, or whatever the hell it is. And so death comes in to say, you can't hold on to this if you want to heal. You've got to learn new things, new ways of approaching this trauma. You can't hold on to this trauma. So death comes in to eradicate these things because you won't let it go. Remember, we had the tower and now we're having death. So it's the final burning of past trauma. And here comes the Page of Swords saying, learn new things. Seven of Pentacles, do I invest? King of Pentacles is here. By the way, remember, we've got the Queen of Pentacles crowning the reading. And so we have now two stable human beings, King and Queen of Pentacles, King and Queen of Cups. I love that combination because it means that you're solidly in love with each other. You're solid. You're reliant. They can rely on you. You can rely on them. There is incredible emotional awakening, and there's truth and integrity in the relationship. So I love that. I love it. It's perfect. Tell me more about the King of Pentacles. Into the Three of Cups, reunion. And again, we're getting a lot of messages of marriage. So this is not going to be for everyone, obviously, but I am getting, some of you are getting together. Remember, the conversation was about 2025. So some of you are coming back into some kind of understanding with your significant person, with yourselves, with the universe, with your soul pact, with your soul tribe members out there, and with this person. So the beginning, to be honest, this Nine of Swords, anxiety, and all that bullshit is actually getting diluted, thank God, over time and over your commitment to learn new things, absolute new things, probably things that scare the shit out of you, to be honest, but better that than to be in stagnation. Tell me more about the Fool. So the Fool promises a new beginning. Nine of Pentacles, being enough into yourself. Into Four of Wands. You can't make this shit up. It's fantastic. Into Queen of Swords. And therein lies the issue. The Queen of Swords is trying to use logic. So everything's becoming magical. Synchronicities are popping left and right. And some of you are going to fuck it up with your monkey mind. That's basically what it means. I hate to be blunt, but there you go. Because the Queen of Swords is an analytical energy. It's air. Nine of Pentacles, I'm enough into myself, you're enough into yourself. It's very much like Khalil Gibran's The Prophet, where he talks about marriage. And in marriage, one of the lines he says, I could actually read the whole thing to you. I've got to look it up real quick. But in the marriage, he says, make sure you are not bound to each other. Make sure there's a lot of wind in between each other. Believe me, I'm paraphrasing him poorly. But that's the essence of it. Does that make sense? And so that's what I'm seeing. But then here comes the Queen of Swords too. I mean, you've got the Four of Wands twice. You've got the King and Queen of Pentacles. You got the King and Queen of Swords. Everything's perfect. And then here comes the Queen. I mean, I just can't. Anyway, tell me more about the Queen of Swords. Why is this happening? It's almost like it's too good to be true. The Three of Cups is thinking about a third party, which there could be. Maybe there's an ex. Or maybe there's a relationship about to end. Or maybe this person was a flirt, or you're a flirt, or you're married, or they're married, whatever the hell it is. So there's the third party into Seven of Swords. That's why I'm saying that, because I saw the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is lying. So I think there's a fear. Is this person lying? Four of Swords, and it's making you sick. Four of Swords. It's literally, tell me more about the four. Actually, let me get another deck. Screw this. I want a brand new deck. Why? Tell me about the Four of Swords. And this card just literally jumped out of my hand. And here comes the Three of Wands. Now, the Three of Wands, I'm being told to say this to you. Of course, it could mean third party, but it's what you decide and what you see. And what it infers, actually, is the Three of Wands, the portals of open. You decide. If they decide with their hearts, what happens? The Two of Cups, union. Tell me more. What happens if they continue? The Sun, healing. Tell me what happens if they continue with the bullshit. The Tower. Is the Tower permanent? The Two of Swords, being blindfolded. Tell me more. Into the Hierophant. Tell me more. Into the Two of Pentacles. If you do not follow your heart and you go with your monkey mind and not with your heart, you will go right back into the Tower, right back into the stagnation of Two of Swords, which is blindfolded, right back into the Hierophant saying, what do you want, spiritually speaking? What do you want to decide on? What do you want to experience? And here comes the Two of Pentacles, which is how we started. You want to decide on, what do you want to experience? And here comes the Two of Pentacles, which is how we started the reading. Basically, it's this fear to be hurt. Well, let me give you some news. You're going to get hurt no matter what you do. The person's going to die. It could be somebody else is going to die. Somebody's going to die. Someone's going to fuck up. Someone's going to get a call from an ex. Something is going to be found on the internet and you're going to assume shit and it might have been from a year ago and they forgot to delete. Something is going to trigger you. And the decision you have to make is, how are you going to handle it? How are you going to grow through that with your partner? Are you going to get triggered and run? Or are you going to get triggered, breathe, sit down, and then calmly ask them, listen, I came across this or this and that and the other. The worst thing, actually, the worst pain you'll ever go through, to be honest, is if they die before you. That is the worst pain. Aside from that, being a human being on this planet, you're going to get hurt. Period. So your fear of getting hurt is, no offense, laughable, because all of us have been hurt. All of us. No one comes out of this whole shenanigan called the human experience without getting hurt in multiple crossroad moments in these incarnations. Hurt by a parent's death, hurt by betrayal, hurt by losing a friend who you thought you could trust, hurt by being fired at a job, hurt by the separation of your twin, going into the dark night of the soul, hurt by being hurt by just the world being what it is, hurt by the injustice. You're going to get hurt. And I think that once you understand that mixed with the hurt is these incredible moments of nectar. You know, when you die and they say you see your whole life flashing before your eyes, do you really think you see the bad? You see all the explosive nectar of joy, of dancing, of making love, of laughing, of giving birth, or holding a baby, or running, and just these exciting moments that made this whole entire human experience worth it. And that's, I think, what you have to realize. is that you have nothing to lose. Well, all you can do is be here now. And in that moment, the question you should ask yourself is, if this was my last day on earth, if this was my last week on earth, am I holding the person I love the most on this planet? And if your answer is no, then that's not the right answer, is it? Then you better repair that right away. I mean, right away. And fear of living a full life is, and I can say that now, having lived a full life pretty much, is it's pathetic. But is it normal? Is it normalized by many? Oh, I'm not sure. You're not sure what? Well, I'm not sure. Should I do a business? Maybe I'll fail. Maybe I'll look like a fool. Maybe I'll lose money. Money will be lost and made again. So money, love, passion, courage, looking like an asshole, all of these things, you can actually bet on it. I'm not kidding. Every single human being has looked and failed and fallen on their face and failed again and won and triumphed. And the more, in fact, to be honest with you, in my humble estimation, some of the people I really admire have, to be honest with you, in my humble estimation, some of the people I really admire have been faced with some pretty fucking intense shit. And still, they were more interested in living their fullest life with irreverence than to play it safe. And to play it safe is like, there was a book I was forced to fucking read in high school. I'll never forget this book because I actually told my professor, I fucking hate you for making me read this book. This was a massive, but in retrospect, it's interesting because the book was called Main Street by Lewis St. Clair. And the level of apathy was unhinged. I never knew people could live. I didn't even know you could write something that fucking boring. I didn't know people had it in them. But apparently Lewis St. Clair did. And why am I saying that? Because it's a good example of living small. Living very small, living very safe, and living around your little white picket fence until the day you die. And then, of course, books like Catch-22, On the Road by Jack Kerouac and Anais Nin's life, and you read these people who had these fucking extraordinary lives, and they had money, lost it all, and had it again. Watch the movie Henry and Jude, which is Henry and June, actually. It's called Henry and June. It's about Henry Miller and Anais Nin, and just living for moments. I mean, the way people lived in those days was interesting because the concept of monogamy was not really entrenched, to be honest. And I'm not a fan of that. I'll just be honest. However, what it did show me was that your passion, creativity, fun, joy. And I think we are much more advanced than the people who lived their lives the best they could in the 20th century. And one of the things that actually probably drove them into really grabbing life with both hands was the fact that, in Europe, they went through 2 world wars back to back, World War I and World War II. So that's not going to make you fuck around for too long. You're not going to be around kicking rocks going, I don't know, shucks, should I, shouldn't I? Because they all lived the reality of people dying at 18, 19 on the front line. So it was like, let's make love tonight. Fuck it. Condom or not, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? It was like that kind of incredible urgency to just get shit done, just to live that moment, because tomorrow was definitely not promised. And my question to all of us is, where did we forget that that's an honest truth? Because that reality of people being there today and gone tomorrow has not stopped. It still is a reality. And yet we forget. We think that, and this is one of my little things when I do readings for some of you, is I kind of get a little frustrated for you as well. Cause I'm walking beside you doing these readings going, what the fuck is wrong with this person? Not you, but the person fucking like trying to figure out, should I, shouldn't I? It's like, dude, it's been 3 years. Seriously? You don't know? You're unhappy. You're not getting laid with your wife or whoever you're married to. And your twin's sitting there going, when are we doing this? Are we doing it now or later? When are we doing this? And I'm talking about twins who are in separation due to circumstances that could end tomorrow with a couple moves. And they won't do it out of fear of this, fear of that. What will the family think? What will I do? What will the kids do? And all of these excuses to bury their passions until it's actually kind of frightening, because I've seen some cases, and I mean, if you follow me for a long time, I'm not kidding. In 2023, I had personally two clients. I think there were three, but I definitely remember two, both under 40. And unfortunately, these women lost their twin to addiction. Those guys didn't make it. So now what? Well, now at a very young age, they have to become extremely transcendental and tap into their twins from the other side, because of circumstances where they didn't have enough support to help their twin walk out of their own self-destructive habits that drove them to the end. Not every end is written in stone. I don't know if you guys know this, but in many of our incarnations, we have portals where we can call it a day. What do I mean? You'll hear of people going into a plane crash and surviving something insane that they shouldn't have survived, but they survive, right? They almost have like 9 lives. And believe it or not, I don't know if you know this, but a lot of us have 9 lives. There's the final expiration date that you cannot negotiate with your guides. But we do have portals where you can actually come back. As you well know, there are people that have gone through near-death experiences that have returned. They had a choice, but they could have stayed. Some of them could have stayed. Not every near-death is no, you got to go back. Some near-death is you can stay if you want. It's really up to you. So we do have those moments, and I think that that's important also for us to realize that in some of these moments when people are at their worst despair and they don't think that love is here present, it's important that no matter what you think, your job is not to tell your twin. I'm going to give you advice, and I've told this for a long time. Don't tell your twin they're your twin, but tell them that they're the love of your life, that you love them, and that no matter what, you're here. I think every human being needs to know that somewhere on the planet, there's a person that loves them beyond sense. Unconditional love. No matter what. I don't care if I'm in Hong Kong, Japan, Nigeria. Call me. Call me. And I don't think we're teaching that enough to the collective. And we should. Even if your twin hears it on a voice note that you leave on their WhatsApp account or Telegram or however the fuck you do it, they'll come across it, and hopefully they'll remember it when it gets hard for them. Because I can say on the divine masculine journey, and I say this again and again and again, I mean, fuck, my masculine, I remember, brought me an article and said, read this. And in it, it said that men needed their caveman time. Now, women think of it as whatever, but it's actually a real thing where there's a study, there's a few studies where men need to have this focused time to themselves. But what it also said, and again, I checked with all the masculines I adore, okay? All my brothers, my uncles, all of that. And they all said the same. Yes, that's how we deal with grief. When shit gets hard, divine masculines shut completely down, and you'll think you're ghosted, but actually they can't talk. They'll retreat into their caves and close the door firmly shut. And so this is where, as a high priestess, you have to psychically and telepathically pick up on where they're at on their emotional journey. Is it a fucking tsunami, or is it just something they're trying to process? You gotta trust what you're feeling, without paranoia, with clear download or direction rather. Anyway, any questions or comments? Any questions at all? Just trying to figure out that I'm missing. Holding myself in loving is completion. Let me see here. Can I just say something that you might find offensive, but not offensive, but that goes against what you're saying? Loving yourself is not completion, okay? Loving yourself is a step towards understanding the avatar that you are. And literally separating yourself from the avatar, which is Joan, Joe, Jerry, David, right? This avatar that you've taken on for this incarnation as a person of, I don't care what descent, what racial background, religious background, it doesn't matter to me. But completion is not something that we should use as a word, because it's not an accurate word. It's a first step. It's kind of like saying, well, now I can read English, so that I'm complete. You're not. You're now learning the English language. So that means you're now learning the language of your soul, because now you can love yourself no matter what the avatar looks like or is, because you have a soul. Because now you can love yourself no matter what the avatar looks like or is, because you have a healthy separation between understanding this monkey mind, this personality you've taken on, right? And you have a healthy, you're actually consciously witnessing the shenanigans of your avatar, and you're not being triggered by you love yourself. It doesn't matter what you look like at all. And that's the first journey to your liberation. And then after that, when you drop your body, you realize how true that is. And then, of course, the next leg of your journey continues. So we're not at a completion. We are at a launching point out of the 3D hamster wheel cycle of reincarnation, when we love ourselves with no reservation, no egoic footprints on that, with unconditional love, where we accept ourselves in all our shadows. We've done that work, and all of our light. And it's enclosed with this avatar, this little thing, this little monkey mind character that we have to fucking beat into submission. I'm kidding when I say that. We don't beat anything, but we try to control it and train it, to be a nice servant. Because our monkey mind, the problem with the monkey mind, as you all know, it's the monkey mind, and I say this a lot, it's scary, okay? It's really serious what I'm about to say. It's the monkey mind that makes people harm themselves to the last breath. It's not the soul, like, let's get the fuck out of here. It's the monkey mind that does that. It's the monkey mind that self-harms. So it's the monkey mind we have to train into surrender to the soul's high wisdom, which is you, which is the ultimate truest part of you. And once we have mastered that, game over. Like game over. You can take on any avatar you want, and it will never control you ever again. And I think, and I keep bringing up, this is why some of these ancient avatars, right? And when I mean avatars, like holy people, understood that. They were able to master themselves. That's what they mean by mastering yourself. It means that nothing can control you, except it's all you decide at every step of what you allow in or out of your consciousness. It's really heavy. And I think it's important. And I think a lot of people don't have that. And it's normal in the beginning to try to figure out what is true and what is not. And it's okay to have passions. It's okay to fuck up. It's okay to step in dog doo-doo and go, well, I didn't know, or I'm sorry, or I made a mistake, and to move on, to forgive yourself and just keep going. I mean, what else are you going to do? Be ashamed and be ashamed to make a mistake. I think, honestly, once you grow into being able to accept yourself, it's going to be something that is so freeing. And women are really having this amazing experience with themselves, and I think so are men. I think that's probably why a lot of men and women right now are choosing to be single. I mean, the reasoning behind some of it is toxic as fuck. There's a lot of hate involved in that, but for many, there is no hate. It's just, I need to figure myself out, and I can't do it with distractions. Like, I need time to see who I really am. Now, in the old days, when people said, I need to find out who I am, they didn't know how to do it. But I think that with all the information we have today, we know how to figure out who we are. And we realize that who we are has nothing to do with Joe, whatever name you have, Joe, Jamie, David, or Elizabeth. We know that to know ourselves is to go deep, deep behind all of this facade. And this is why I love the book, The Untethered Soul, which I call the Bible, the Holy Scripture for the soul. That book is simple, stupid to read, and Michael Singer has been able to take something massively esoteric, very difficult to digest, and has taken it to such a level that he actually, each chapter gives you a massive understanding of what you really are, who you really are, what makes you hold on to your personality thinking that's all you'll ever be. Like, seriously, look in the mirror. Do you really, when you look in the mirror, do you really think this is all you are? That it's all you've ever been and all you will ever be? And that illusion is a trap. Once you realize that you've been all these things, and there's more you can't even, right now at this moment, you can't even imagine, but you will. And that's why hypnotherapy is so powerful for a lot of people. Like, once people go into hypnotherapy and see their past lives as masculines, feminines, as starseeds, it changes their whole complete understanding of who they really are. And that there's magic there. People don't have to take plant medicine to get to that level. You know what I mean? I mean, for the whole hippie movement, taking acid and doing all that shit was like important for them to go and explode into other realities or other visions, if you will, like vision. They were like more like vision quests, right? But I mean, can you imagine going into hypnotherapy and literally like seeing and knowing it's you and recognizing your grandmother in the body of a baby, and you know that's your grandmother, like instantly, like boom, yeah, that's my grandmother. How do you know? Well, I don't know. I just know that's my grandmother, and it's the 1800s. And I'm in a farmhouse. What the fuck? Keep going. Let's keep going. What's going on? What's around? That changes how you see yourself. And so to know thyself be true is no joke. And at that point, you come to the next leg of your journey where you ascend to a higher plateau, because now you're a frequency match to new lessons. That's why I said there's no completion. And new ways of loving yourself and feeling this unconditional divine love that shines on your being. Because now you feel deserving of it. So you don't gaslight yourself on that. You'll receive it because you feel like, yeah. Not from a place of narcissism, but from a pure place. The way babies are fascinated by their hands and toes and they giggle. Their bodies. That kind of pure self-acceptance. It's really interesting. And so ultimately, as you go through your journey of evolution and rejecting the limitations of this particular incarnation as the reason why you can't do X, Y, and Z, you will free yourself and you will embody the adventurous soul that you truly are. Because we're all nomads. Trust me. We have been traveling from one incarnation to another, from one continent, country, planet, for hundreds of thousands of years. We're nomads. It's our inherent adventurous soul that has wanted to experience everything, because we have such a beautiful joie de vivre, we actually love to live in these various experiences. And it gets hard when we start feeling as if we don't matter. And this is one of the problems that has occurred over the Industrial Revolution, where we lost our ability to be with our tribe members. It wasn't always great. Trust me, people would fight in villages and get into arguments, jealousies, competition. But somehow it always worked out, I guess. But there was community. And we are pack animals. We're like wolves, study wolves, really, really study wolves. They're amazing. And we need to come back to being in community. And I think that's why so many people are actually harming themselves to the last breath. I hate to use the word unaliving. I hate that word because it has no meaning. It's a pasteurized word for a very desperate last solution. I feel as if community, and the kind of community we're looking to build, is a community that is not cruel or judgmental. There's a great scene in the opening movie of Kingdom of Heaven. You should watch that movie. Orlando Bloom. Watch the beginning of that scene where his wife will not be buried because she took her life, because she had the mendacity to grieve the loss of her baby child. And the way these types of communities, controlled by orthodox religions, very judgmental, very cruel, very, pushing people to do shit they probably wouldn't have done had they been in a community more like the kind of community we're looking to build in the new earth. Very much like for example, there's this white South African, I forgot his name, he's got salt and pepper hair, he's an amazing man, but he brought back this incredible old African attitude of tribe and community called Ubuntu. Ubuntu means if you're hurting, the whole village surrounds you to say, why are you hurting? What can we do to help you, my dear brother or my dear sister? What can we help you to do so you feel as if you matter, so we can heal your pain? It's called Ubuntu. And this is the kind of community I want to belong to. I want to be a part of that community. I love how in the Native American way and the ancient Celts in the Druidic ways, there was a sense of community. And more, it's been diluted until we're holding nothing in our hands but credit cards and bills. There's something wrong with that. And so, know thyself, be true means to remember where you came from, all your experiences, and how you can raise your frequency to now experience things that are more in line with what you desire. And there's nothing wrong with desiring better. It's a mark of intelligence, and it's a mark of self-worth. It's that simple. I'm going to pull an oracle card from Kali, I think. I'm going to see, actually. No, actually, I'm going to pull it from Blue Angel Oracle. Because, you know why? Because this is connected to Angel Michael, an archangel. So, hopefully you believe in angels. I know I do. I've been working with Angel Michael for about 20 years. Consciously. Anyway, let me see what comes up. This is perfect, and I'll tell you why it's perfect. It's 21. Sadness. 21 is the crown of the Magi in Kabbalah numerology. 21 is 3. It's the balance between the mind, body, and spirit. 21. Okay, let me read this to you. This is perfect. And hopefully many of you are not sad, but if you are, here's your message. 21, sadness, love. There may be some sadness at present, but this is also a sacred time. Reflect on that which really matters to you and cherish and treasure all that is meaningful in your life. In sorrow, there is also great beauty, for your sadness stems from a profound love built of precious memories that live forever in your heart and the hearts of those you love. Know that nothing truly ends, for you and everyone you love are eternal. Life will continuously unfold, change, and transform, but it will never cease. Every ending is also a beginning in life's eternal wheel. Life is one continuous cycle. All the events of your life and all those who play a role in it are part of you forever. Life is an eternal spirit with no beginning or end. All is an ocean of light, a great sea of love. All is one. We are one, my immortal beloved. Wow, what a beautiful... I'm so glad I pulled that out. Any questions or comments? Any questions? Let me see. That was an incredible card. Any other questions or comments, please? No? Okay, perfect. So, I love the card so much. I'm blown away. I'm going to pull another card from the same deck. I rarely use... This is the Blue Oracle. It's called the Blue Angel Oracle by Tony Carmine Salerno. It's a very sweet little deck. It's not a long deck. Alana Fairchild has amazing decks, but this woman does create. So let me see. I'm going to give you one more card, and then we'll call it a day. I have to go into meditation, and I suggest you do the same. And they asked me to pull 2 cards. I'm not joking. Okay, so I'm going to give you both, and then we'll call it a night. So the first card that popped up was called 27. 27 is 2025. In other words, it's 9. Please look at my numerology on that. 27, Wings of Light. Okay, and the second card that came out was 13, Forever in My Light. So I'm going to read them to you in order of how they fell. And I want to thank you for being here and patiently sharing this late night with me. Okay, let me read this to you. So this was 27, which is 9. By the way, 27 in Kabbalah numerology represents the scepter. And it is someone born under the 27 is somebody who has been given all the gifts of spirituality. And because they're in alignment, hopefully they're in alignment with that spiritual gift they were given when they were born on that day, what happens is that other abundances will follow, trail behind them with no real effort. And it turns into 9. 9 is God's perfect master number. So wings of light, positive news. A positive result or joyful message arrives and brightens your day. Once you receive it, you may want to pause for a moment to reflect on the people and things that matter most to you. Thank the universe for these gifts of love, friends, family, community, country, world, universe. Is it not all important? Is it not all a blessing? The universe inside you, for you are the luminous essence from which all stems. Let us give thanks for this eternal blessing and great mystery. And finally, 13 is death. It's transformation. It's number 4. 4 in numerology is what I would call the person who takes on karma. It's like the Little Mermaid. Remember the story? She gave up her legs to have. She gave up her voice to have legs. It's actually taking on karma to help others. It's one of the numbers I call a volunteer number. A lot of us volunteer. Don't get me wrong, but it is a person who definitely actually didn't actually need to be here right now, but volunteered to come in. Okay, so 13, forever in my light, safe and sound. You live forever within the light of creation. There is no need to worry. Did you hear that? There is no need to worry. You and those you love are safe. The healing light of angels fills heaven and earth. It is everywhere, always. Feel it in your heart, like an eternal flame glowing throughout the universe. Through your days and nights, forever uniting, healing, and transforming all. We are forever flowing through creation, and we are forever changing, yet I am always with you. For I am the ebb and flow of your spirit, and the love that stems from your eternal heart. I am a warm breeze that whispers in your sleep. Well, those were the messages for tonight. Again, happy. May you really work on manifesting. If you can't sleep, go ahead and go into meditation and go ahead and start working on what you want 2025 to look for. But act and speak of it as if it's happening now with the kind of gratitude of the present tense, okay? All right, if you want to follow me, wasn't that beautiful? Thank you, Scorpio Life. I thought it was beautiful too. If you want to follow me, if you guys decide to go with the rules of the land, where TikTok is banned, follow me on YouTube. It's on my profile link. If you want a reading, a hypnotherapy session, an Akashic reading, go ahead and contact me through my website. Fill out the intake form. Don't email me. Fill out the intake form, and then I'm sure to get it. And if I don't get it, message me. If for some reason I don't respond to you in like 48 hours, like definitely hit me up, because I had a client who actually waited like a week and finally hit me up on one of my videos saying, hey, I contacted you, but you're not responding. Trust me, if I'm not responding within like 12 hours or 24 hours, it's because I didn't get it. It's not because I don't want to work with you. But I'm not going to DM you or chase you. So that's the only way you can contact me. I'm not going to, please don't get hustled by other people who promise readings, and it's not me. What else can I tell you? We are going to be offering classes this year. Our first class will be an altar class for abundance and love. We'll be offering classes on Tantra, on tarot, and on star seeds, and also how to develop coherence, to develop psychic energy. And, there'll be books, homework, stuff like that. In fact, I give all my clients homework anyway, so that's protocol. But Andromeda Flame are gearing up for 2025 to help as many people as possible to get rooted in their power to also become the next the next group of teachers out there in the world. You know what I'm saying? And that takes integrity, and that takes strength. It's not easy. Trust me. When you work in the field of healing, you deal with a lot of trauma, a lot of sadness, a lot of depression, a lot of second guessing, a lot of sabotage, and a lot of, massive, massive sabotage due to the lack of self-worth. So it's really important that if you do nothing else at all in 2025, is that you develop a healthy sense of self-worth and unconditional love, and do as much as you can on that note, okay? All right, my loves. I will post this particular video on YouTube. And again, sending you much love on your journey.